There are so many memorable character actors who enriched our evenings as we watched television back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Several immediately come to mind, like Denver Pyle, Dabbs Greer, Ellen Corby, Madge Blake. But the one who stands out above the rest is the beloved Burt Mustin. He is probably best remembered for his recurring role as Gus, the fireman, in Leave It to Beaver, and as Judd Crowley, the townsperson on the Andy Griffith Show. He appeared in dozens of other television shows and Hollywood films. His acting career was only 25 years long, yet by the end of that career, his film and television credits would number well over 150. I can only imagine the endless string of intriguing and delightful stories that could be told by one with such a resume. An interesting fact that you may not know about Burt is this. He did not begin his unforgettable acting career until he was well into his 60s, 67 to be exact. We might think that must be when his life really began. However, Burt Mustin actually lived an interesting first 60 years. He was born in Pittsburgh on February 8, 1884. His parents were William and Sadie Mustin. His father worked as a stockbroker. In 1899, at the age of 15, he enrolled in the Pennsylvania Military College at Chester, Pennsylvania. Outside of his classroom studies, he participated in the band, becoming the first chair trombone. He played first base and did a little catching for the baseball team. In 1902, he was the goalie for the ice hockey team. One of his classmates, named Charles Spinney, kept a gallery of photographs of young ladies who he knew from his hometown in Memphis. He kept them hanging on his wall of his room. While studying the photographs one day, Burt commented, "There's the prettiest girl in the room." Later, he traveled to Memphis where he actually met that girl, Frances Robina Woods. They would later marry in June of 1915. They remained together until her passing in 1969. Burt would always call her "my darling Bine." Though they were not at the military college at the exact same time, fellow alumnus was legendary filmmaker Cecil B Demille. By the time of graduation in 1903, he had received the rank of cadet lieutenant with his company. He graduated 6th in his class, and his degree was in civil engineering. He was the last surviving member of the 1903 class. Upon graduation, he began working as an engineer. He then worked at his father's brokerage firm until it collapsed due to economic reasons. In 1916, he started selling cars. First, he sold Oaklands and then Franklins. When the Franklin Automobile Company ceased production in 1934, he sold Mercurys and Lincolns until U.S. car production was stopped for the Second World War. Then for a time, he sold hearing aids. It was during his car selling days that he first became interested and involved in performing and acting at local theaters. In 1921, he became the first host of a variety show on KDXA radio in Pittsburgh. He appeared in productions of the Pittsburgh Opera and the Pittsburgh Savoyards. The Savoyards was a theater group of dancers, actors, and other entertainers, mostly known for its Gilbert and Sullivan performances. Though Burt Mustin was not much of a singer, his character sketches received rave reviews. His ability to sing must have kept improving, though. He became a member of the U.S. Barbershop Music Harmony Society. In 1925, his quartet competed in San Francisco. While in California, the quartet, along with their wives, took a trip to Hollywood to sightsee. Years later, he reflected back on that time, and he said that he had no interest in becoming a professional actor. As a matter of fact, he stated that he was very content and comfortable with his life and his wife in Pittsburgh. Upon his retirement, and mainly because of failing health with his wife, they moved to a warmer climate of Tucson, Arizona. Burt continued his devotion to acting by performing in a number of local roles in theaters. During a stage production of Detective Story in Phoenix, Hollywood film producer and director William Wyler took notice of him. Wyler told Mustin to look him up if he ever decided to pursue acting on the screen. After contacting Wyler, he was cast as a janitor called Willie in the film adaptation of Detective Story starring Kirk Douglas. That year was 1951. From there, his professional acting career took off. Burt and his darling Bine found themselves in Los Angeles, and the rest of the story has become a cherished slice of television history. Burt's final television appearance was on the Mary Tyler Moore Show spin-off Phyllis, starring Cloris Leachman, in December of 1976. Just weeks later, Burt Mustin passed away peacefully in Glendale, California, on January 28, 1977. That was just 11 days before his 93rd birthday. He's buried in the loving kindness section of Forest Lawn, Hollywood Hills. Now, Burt is one of those actors that I just cherish. His roles on Leave It to Beaver and The Andy Griffith Show are just priceless. I love his conversations with Andy. Thank you so much, Burt, for all the happiness that you filled our lives with during your television career. Rest in peace, my friend. Thank you so much for watching.